So welcome back to the Janaranjani supporters and listeners. This is the second part of our webinar. Now we have got three more youth from this webinar team. So now I will invite Radha to introduce herself and then continue with her topic.
Hello everyone, I'm Radha. I'm I love plants, and I feel that I speak to the plants and they respond to me. I do lots of gardening. Today I'm going to speak about Ikebana plantation by Japanese. And I'm not prepared well with this, so whatever it comes in the flow, I'm going to share that. And Ikebana, it's a Japanese art of arranging flowers. We can say that they want to make flowers alive by decorating them in Ikebana style. So Ikebana was introduced in 6th century by Chinese. There was a tradition to offer flowers to the Buddha. So they started continuing offerings by decorating it in different styles. Once they started decorating them in different styles, they started schools, and they started learning about different ways to present flowers, and even the small plants and branches, whatever parts of the tree or a plant are, they want to present them in a beautiful style, so that it gives some peace of mind in the living room or whatever the room they want to use it. And they use it for the altars and for the puja rooms and for the prayer rooms, or for gifting someone. So they make their own arrangements or decorations for that. And there are 4 types of styling this flower arrangement. One is Rika, which is called a stand, which is decorated by making the flowers stand. And the other is Nagari, that is throwing in flowers everywhere. I'll show you the pictures later. And Moribana and Shokai. Moribana is piling up the flowers, and Shokai is living flowers, like natural flowers. So today I'll be sharing the method of Moribana, how to decorate the flowers in a stylish way using the method called Moribana. For this, we need a good pair of scissors, ceramic bowl, and Kenzen. Kenzen is that spiky frogs, which has pins on that. Like you'll get everywhere in flower shops or in stationery shops. And there's different variety of Kenjins. You can use them for like whatever the stylish way you want to decorate that, Ikebana. So, and then now, choose the stem or the flowers or whatever that you want to use for this Ikebana decoration. Like you have to choose them which can survive for a long time. Like if you can see that when we buy a flower bouquet, when we put them in the water, we see that it stays for at least 1 or 2 weeks. So in the same way, long-lasting flowers like chrysanthemum, you can say camellia, or narcissus, daffodils, polished roses. You can use all these flowers and their stems to decorate the Ikebana. So the longest stem is called Shin. The second stem is called Sui, and the third one is called as Hikai. You have to use these, mainly they use the 3 sections to decorate the Ikebana plantation, Ikebana flower decoration. And that for that, you have to take the first, shin should be double in size to the size of the bowl. The bowl which you have taken to arrange this array of flowers, it should be like double the container. Double the size of the container. It should not be longer than that. If you take longer than that, the container may not take its weight. That's the tricky part of this Ikebana decoration. And then you have to take the second plant, half the size of the longer one, that is Sui. And the Hika is with the flower. So you have to put them on the, Kenzen, that is spiky frogs, and then arrange them in whatever style you want. So the more you make designs, like you have to make an imaginary design on that spiky frog, and then arrange these 3 stems in such a way. And then you try to cover with the flowers or leaves or stems so that these pins are not visible outside. So then Ikebana flower plantation is ready. That is one method. And there are different methods, but I have chosen this one because I felt this is the easiest one. But I love flowers. I have lots of flowers in my garden. Sometimes whenever I feel like I need to decorate, I use I put them in vases using water and stuff. But yeah, I forgot to add the main point. You have to pour water in that. You have to pour water until that the spiky frog submerges inside. That's it. I hope I could explain. If you have any doubts, please ask me. Did I miss anything in this?
No, it's nice. Ikebana is very ancient art, and thank you for explaining.
Yeah, I'll show you the one which I want to share. Are you able to see my document?
Yes.
Yeah, these are the kenzans, like different styles of kenzans. You can use this one or this one, whatever the style you want to use for your bowl. Like you have to cover these kenzans with leaves or flowers, and these are the flowers which last long, because Japanese use this camellia, peony. These are polished roses, and they feel that they give this during the girls' festival that happens in March in Japan. And these are daffodils. They also last long. I think we have many in Sydney. We can use them. We usually use them in the vases, but we can use them for this kenzans. And this is the arrangement called Moribana. That's what the one which I've explained. I hope my words can be seen in this picture.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
So this is it. Yeah, that's done. Thank you. Arigatou gozaimasu.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Radha.
Yeah.
So would you like to stop sharing?
Yeah, I'm stop sharing. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Now I request Saujanya to introduce herself and talk about her topic.
Yeah. Thanks, Radha Garu. That was a good insight. Myself, I'm Saujanya. I'm doing my bachelor's in Macquarie University. Today I'm here to talk about dwarf plants. So dwarf plants, as you know, are tiny little plants. These plants grow very slowly, and especially I suggest them if you have backyards and you have very limited space. So you can consider planting, if you can keep some containers that feature dwarf plants with interesting colors and techniques. So there are many advantages of planting dwarf plants. Like you can plant them in small yards without fear that they'll take over. So if you kind of have very large trees or huge plants which take over all the space in your garden, and they keep rooting up, so that it would be very inconvenient, and it would make your garden uneven. So you don't have to worry about these things if you want to consider dwarf plants. And the second thing is, if you are looking for a focal point in a garden, these little plants are a great option. Some examples of dwarf plants are California coast, redwood, dwarf pomegranate tree, dwarf conifers, dwarf black-eyed Susans, etc. So two slow-growing plant types that are becoming more and more popular are cacti and succulents. So the reason slow-growing plants are slow is because they only grow for a few months, and then from there they become dormant, and for the rest of the months they take very little energy to maintain as well. So slow growing plants are not difficult, so they are resilient and can handle just about anything. So cacti and succulents offer a large variety of shapes, colors and forms. They make excellent houseplants. So especially to talk about succulent plants, they store water in their leaves. So this is a very interesting fact about succulent plants, that they store water in their leaves, stems, or roots, and they are low water plants. So they are easy to cultivate and require minimal maintenance and are easily found. Uh, they vary in size and have dramatic geometric shapes and add interest to gardens, large and small. They also make great potted plants. So I also had a quick tip in general in gardening techniques. That is, if you don't need to be a dedicated composter or compost pitter, or you don't have to know about the compost pit to reap similar benefits. So if applying used coffee grounds, eggshells, chopped up banana peels, and other organic material directly to your soil can offer your plants nutrition as they decompose. So for already growing plants or already growing beds, scatter and bury the items within the uh, first few inches of the soil, and this will help strengthen the soil's minerals and resources so that your garden would be more productive. And thanks, Generation Group, for offering me this chance to talk here today.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so glad with knowing so many details, like so much a flood of information. Thank you so much. Now, I would play the video that Kesho Brugubanda has shared with us. So just bear with me 1 minute. Are you seeing the video? Hello?
Yes, we can.
You're seeing the video?
Yes.
Okay, let's start.
Hello, I am Keshav, a Janaranjani youth volunteer based here in Sydney, Australia. I'd like to thank the Janaranjani Radio Group for organising this webinar and giving us youth a chance to talk about modern gardening ideas. Unfortunately, I cannot be there during the webinar time, but I thought it would be a great chance for me to show you all my garden during this time here. Now, talking about composting and how composting and the different kinds of composting you can do and the benefits of composting as well. So the reason I love composting is it's basically a mechanism for us to use all of our unused food scraps, unused gardening clippings such as grass or branches as resources. These aren't just things we chuck in the green bin, but they are resources which we can use to fuel our own gardens, and thus it's something that should be thought of as valuable. And if you think of it like that, you'd appreciate your compost, and not just that, possibly even appreciate your food even more, and maybe feel a little bit less guilty if you have to throw out some. So I'm lucky enough to have a compost bin in my backyard. It's basically just a very simple box. You can see it has air slits here just to allow airflow. Airflow is essential for composting because it basically allows the aerobiotic process of bacteria and helps feed the bacteria that help enable the composting process. So as you can see, there are some food scraps, there's some just any green waste. Sometimes we even chuck paper in there. I wouldn't advise chucking too much paper. But it's basically just a mixture of different papers, soils, what is called brown waste, that is tree clippings, and also green waste, which is the direct food scraps, such as vegetable scraps mainly. You should not keep any meat products in your compost, and you should not keep any eggs in your compost, or your dairy products in your compost. Otherwise, it'll start smelling, and the bacteria might not be that great or beneficial. I'm sure it'll still decompose, but it's not advised. In terms of the smell of the compost bin, it doesn't really smell too much. It's nice and self-contained and insulated, while also allowing air flow through. So because of this, we don't smell the bin too much. Now, the compost bin is a great idea, and I definitely recommend it if you have the space and would like to utilize the space for it. However, if you don't have the space, I'd like to show you another mechanism for all of those people living in apartments or who do not have backyards. So this is a bokashi bucket. It's basically just a bucket which you can keep all of your food scraps in. And this bucket is small enough to just fit inside your kitchen, fits inside your laundry. The tight seal, as you can see here, is so tight that you can't even smell any of the matter decomposing. And even at the end, there's a tap here, which basically gives you a way to get all the juices, all the beneficial juices from your compost, and also maybe drain any juices to help maximize space inside the bucket. So I'm sure you can buy this bucket online, and it's just a really easy introductory way for anyone to compost. Really, my brother, he lives in an apartment, and he uses this compost bin quite a lot. So it's something that I would advise. So those are just a couple of different ideas relating to composting. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to watching the rest of the presentations later on. Goodbye for now.
I hope you all could watch that video to some detail. I got some message here that did you find any little problem there? Hello?
No, it was all good.
Yeah, thank you. Now I would thanks to all our speakers who have done an excellent job, and in fact this compost bin, I'm so loving it, because it shows like how much of the wet waste is going into our bins, and then like all that could be actually value add to our own garden. So yeah, I like that, and there are so many hints that I took today from the meeting. Now I request Swarnalatha Garu to add some more words from her side, please.
Yeah, thank you all to the guest speakers today. Really, it's very informative, and we learned a lot from them. And thanks, and I wish them all the best.
Also, మన జనరంజని గురించి కూడా కొద్దిగా చెప్పండి.
జనరంజని basically not only for the radio programs, అంటే వేరేవన్నీ కూడా చాలా ఎంకరేజ్ చేస్తూ యూత్ ని కానివ్వండి, లేదా మన ఆర్ట్స్ అండ్ కల్చర్ తీసుకున్నా కూడా, అంటే మ్యూజిక్ ఏది తీసుకున్నా కూడా వాటన్నిటిని ఎంకరేజ్ చేస్తూ యూత్ బ్రాడ్కాస్టర్స్ ని ఎంకరేజ్ చేస్తూ ఇట్స్ గివింగ్ ఏ వెరీ గుడ్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్ టు ఆల్ ద యూత్ టు డెవలప్, అండ్ దెన్ వాళ్ళ స్కిల్స్ అంతా ప్రెజెంటేషన్ కి కానీ దేనికి కానీ. అండ్ రియల్లీ డాక్టర్ ఉషా గారు ఈజ్ working a lot and putting all her efforts in getting all sort of support and encouragement to the youth. And I hope it is beneficial to one and all. Thank you.
Thank you, Swarnagar. Actually, I want to add on that. It's a team spirit rather than one person, because someone has to do the emailing and someone has to do it. That's why, my name might pop up a bit more. But everyone is so resourceful in Janaranjani, the senior team. And as you know, our head, he's a 93-year-old boy, we can say. He's, he's 93 years, but he drives us with his affection, at the same time with his discipline also. So, that's how we get our strength.
Yes, Dr. Durvasil Murthy garu is our backbone actually.
Yes.
Aina initiative, aina support, aina idi lekunda మేము ఏమీ చేయలేము. యాక్చువల్లీ మేము అందరం ఒక రామబంటుల్లాగా రామదండులాగా ఆయన వెనకాల ఉండేవాళ్ళమే. సో ద మెయిన్ ఇనిషియేటివ్ ఈజ్ for starting this Janaranjani radio altogether is all the credit goes to Dr. Durvasula uncle.
Yeah, so he gives us all the energy and support, and in addition to that, we are like a family of people with some small ideas, and of course, like we can't do anything without the support of the youth. We can put forth, but you're the guys who did all the hard work. So we have the highest praise for you, because you went there to research the topic and then you made it such a interesting thing for everyone. So I'm going to tell you that we are going to put this recording onto YouTube, and also we are sharing on the website. And as I always said, you are the face of Janaranjani. Okay, you are our heart and soul. So we have the highest affection and regard for our youth. Okay, so therefore you always feel free to share your ideas, and tell us what more we can do, because we have a powerful website, and run by very efficient and highly educated volunteers. And we have a WhatsApp group. And the other day, Mrs. Durga Bhavani garu has very correctly mentioned that sometimes in the WhatsApp group, what happens is people just post something that they think is interesting. But basically, we all have to remember that it's a Prasara Vedika for our radio group and for our activities. Of course, we are big on art, we are big on culture, we are big on ethical living, and we are very big on, of course, India. Why not? And at the same time, we love our country, Australia, who has given us all the opportunities to do these things. So with that note, I would say thank you to all of you. Durga Bhavan garu, you want to add something more, Andy? Please.
ఉషా గారు, చాలా చాలా మంచి మంచి ప్రోగ్రామ్ చేస్తున్నారండి మీరు. జనరంజని అని బట్టి అన్ని రకాల విషయాలు మీరు అందులో పోస్ట్ చేస్తూ, యాక్చువల్ గా మీరు ప్రొఫెషనల్ గా మీరు చాలా బిజీ అయినా కూడా మనకి ఇలాంటివి చాలా రిలాక్సేషన్ ఇస్తాయి. సో చాలా మంచి మన ఆర్ట్ అన్ని రకాలైన ఆస్పెక్ట్స్ లోను మీరు తీసుకొని చేస్తున్నారు. చాలా అది చాలా అభినందించాల్సిన విషయం. మిమ్మల్ని మీ గ్రూప్ అందరూ కలిసి చాలా మంచి పనులు చేస్తున్నారు. రియల్లీ గుడ్.
It's a group effort. Thank you. You correctly said it's a group effort. Now you are a family member. You have kindly agreed to join the WhatsApp group. So it is more rich day by day, because as you said, art and culture is nothing like it. And I feel that garden is also part of our art.
Yes, exactly. అది చాలా రిలాక్సేషన్ మనుషులకి, మనందరికి కూడాను. అందరూ బిజీ లైఫ్ లో ఉన్నప్పుడు ఇది చాలా రిలాక్సేషన్ ఇస్తుంది, గార్డెనింగ్ కానీ ఆర్ట్స్ కానీ ఎనీథింగ్. సో మీరు గ్రూప్ లో కూడా మంచి అంటే మీరు మంచి టాపిక్స్ ఎవరినైనా మీరు సజెస్ట్ చేయమని కూడా మీరు గ్రూప్ లో అడగచ్చు. ఆ సజెస్ట్ చేస్తే దాని మీద ఇలా ఇప్పుడు మనకంతా ఆన్లైన్ వచ్చినాయి కదా ఫెసిలిటీ, జూమ్. సో మీరు దీంట్లో చక్కగా ఇలాంటి వెబినార్స్ మీరు అన్ని విషయాల మీద, చాలా విషయాల మీద కండక్ట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. మంత్లీ వన్స్ 15 days ఒకసారి మంత్లీ వన్స్. సో యాజ్ యువర్ కన్వీనియంట్ చేసుకుంటే బాగుంటుంది.
తప్పకుండా అండి, తప్పకుండా. We will consider your advice very highly, and thank you so much. And for the Australian people, it's already like 11 p.m. So thank you all for your patience and enthusiasm. And sorry we had a few technical issues, but I hope you understand. Thank you. Thank you once again, and good night, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, Swarnalata garu.
Thank you. Thanks, Andy.
Good night. Yeah.
Good night.
Good night.